Students, welcome to the class. A very good morning to all of you. Students, in my previous classes, I introduced you to Girish Karnad and I also discussed the introduction of the play Tughlaq by Karnad. Today, we will discuss and interpret the first scene of this drama. Students, as you know, Tughlaq, published in the year 1964, is Karnad's second play. It won popular acclaim. It explores the paradox of the idealistic Sultan Muhammad Tughlaq, whose reign is considered one of the more spectacular failures in India's history. So, students, let us come to scene 1 and interpret it. I have already shared the text with you. You can go through this text. Now, let us come to scene 1. Students, the action in this scene takes place in the capital at Delhi in the year 1327. This scene takes place in the Chief Court of Justice in Delhi. The courtyard is full of citizens. Most of the people gathered over here are Muslim, with a sprinkling of Hindus here and there. The crowd is impatient. They are discussing amongst themselves about Sultan and his administration. Most of them are not happy with the nature and ways of Sultan's way of administration. They find fault with the king for having exempted the Hindus from jizya tax. They mock at him for his meeting with common people personally. Muslims call him anti-Muslim and at the same time ignore the fact that they have been asked to pray 5 times a day. And if they break this law, they have the officer who will punish them. Students, Hindus are also present in this scene and they call Sultan a hypocrite, and Muslims denounce him as anti-Islam. As people are criticizing Sultan openly, an announcement is made that one person, Vishnu Prasad, a Brahmin from Shiknar, who had filed a suit against the government of Sultan, he has come. This person had alleged that his land was confiscated illegally by the officers of the state. This person demanded compensation for the loss of the land and the privation resulting from it. The announcement makes it loudly clear that Qazi Mumalik, the supreme judge of the land, after considering the pros and cons of the matter, has cleared that the claim of the Brahmin is just, and in compensation for the privation, Vishnu Prasad would receive a grant of 500 silver dinars from the government treasury, and that he would be given a post in the civil service to ensure him a regular and adequate income. So students, meanwhile, the Sultan Muhammad bin Tughlaq himself appears and addresses people. He takes pride, he feels a pride over the judgment of the Qazi in the Brahmin's case. Tughlaq claims that he stands for justice without any consideration of power or weakness, religion or creed. He says that he wants in his country justice, equality, progress, and a purposeful life for his subject. He seeks help and cooperation from his people in attaining these objectives. He demands the support of his people for his new step of shifting his capital from Delhi to Daulatabad, the place that is a symbol of Hindu-Muslim unity and brotherhood. Tughlaq says that this step has been taken with the consent and approval of his ministers, who were fully convinced that the large empire needed the capital in the center of India, and also that new capital would not be exposed to the raids of the enemy as Delhi is. This declaration of Sultan creates a commotion in the people. People feel tired of his tyranny and madness. They talk about his father's murder in prayer managed by him. These people charge him of fratricide. They are full of disdain for him and try to shut the mouth of the young who do not rely upon this hearsay. These people quote Sheikh Imamuddin, charging him of patricide and fratricide publicly. Sheikh Imamuddin had raised the standard of revolt against the Sultan. Students, the crowd in the yard in front of Chief Court of Justice is dispersed. One person named Azam stays back to meet the Brahmin. The Brahmin is asked by the guard to leave the court. As soon as he goes out of the court, he meets Azam, who is a pickpocket, and with who he is meeting after a long time. Azam recognizes him that he is not a Brahmin, but he is Aziz, the Dhobi, who had been his friend. He is filled with joy and tells him that a Muslim Dhobi can't become a Brahmin that easily. Aziz retorts that he wanted to test the declaration of the Sultan on the second anniversary of his convocation, of his coronation, that people may file a suit against the Sultan and justice will be done. He therefore bought the confiscated land and backdated the document of Vishnu Prasad, shaved himself and disguised himself as a Brahmin, and filed a suit against the Sultan. He wanted to know the truth behind the proclamation. Now, students, Aziz requests him to keep all that a secret. He doesn't intend to be a Brahmin all his life. He wants Azam to join the civil service under him and promise to pile money by the time they reach Daulatabad. So, students, I would like you to go through the text of the novel regularly that I have just shared with you. Thank you very much for today.